this.
Holy shit, Kevin!
Wow. What?
You get this only nowhere else but the Kevin and Zach. Kevin, I'm not gonna lie.
Now we're not look at this. A carved penguin. There it is.
Oh no. Are the O's fine? Are the Orioles fine, Kevin?
I was so embarrassed.
Okay. The Orioles stole it. That game was stolen. It was stolen from them, then they stole it right back.
What?
Oh my
Wait, what's going on?
What is happening?
What is going? Was it a diving play? He bobbled the ball.
What is happening? Are they challenging it? No. Other wall. No.
Kevin, I don't know what you saw, how much you saw. I've been chugging champagne. Sure, I spilled a lot, but what a game, man.
He will be the legendary
Birdfish!
How about that?
Birdfish fans, stand up! We did it!
What can I say? What can I say? What can I say?
I mean, something is happening in Baltimore. Something is brewing in Baltimore. Come back, kids. Down and out. Offense not doing shit. Every day there's a different star. Heston Kerr said. Silent J triple. Bat and wheels not sold. Something is happening in Baltimore. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Kevin and Zach React. The Baltimore Orioles have won 5 straight games. 5 straight games. Buck Showalter came on the Ryan Ripken show on May 21st and said, you get young people going in a snowball in the positive direction, crazy things can happen. We said in the 50 games following or before the All-Star break or the trade deadline, Orioles had to go 32-18. 32-18 to get back to 500. What was step one? Step one was winning last night. Mission accomplished. What was step two? Winning tonight. Mission accomplished. Orioles got to go 30-18 before the trade deadline to get back to 500. Tell me that ain't possible. Orioles are 8-2 on their last 10, by the way. You want to talk about a team getting their confidence back. You want to talk about a team that you can tell something's clicking. This ain't the same team from a few weeks ago. Hell, I said it last night, and I'll say it again. I'll reiterate it again. I'll stand on it. This is the best I've felt about the Baltimore Orioles since last July, and they're 12 games under 500. This team's playing with some swagger. This team's playing with confidence. This team does not quit. I'm telling you right now, 3 weeks ago, that team loses that game probably 5-1. Adley ties it up. They Mariners take the lead. I'm telling you right now, 2-3 weeks ago, that was ball game. That's ball game 2 weeks ago. Oriole 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Cal Raleigh hits that go-ahead. Double gets thrown out. Take the 2-1 lead. I'm telling you right now, that guy on third scores, and it would have snowballed. And I bet the Orioles probably would have lost that game 5-1. Not these guys. Not this team right now. Something's happening in Baltimore. You can quote me this. Tell me how wrong I am if I am. June 5th, 12:42 a.m. Something is happening in Baltimore. And Ben, I agree. You can feel it. You can feel it. Before we get into we go through the box score. Appreciate you, Walter, saying, I'm just going to say it. If we win tomorrow, we're sweeping the A's 2 to run the winning streak to 9. Oriole Magic is back. Something's happening in Baltimore. Lucas, appreciate you. Don't let the O's get hot. We might be too late. It might be too late because let me tell you something. This is something's happening. You combine a team that has no expectation and is playing with house money, all the talent in the world, take expectations off them. Suddenly you get a little momentum going. You get some consistency. God, we talked to Mark DeRosa, who is the manager for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic, former Major League player. He said one of his favorite things about playing for Bobby Cox, one of the greats of all time, great managers of all time, was you never drove to the field and didn't know your role. You knew what you were doing every day. People said, hey, yeah, Adley's got to get out of the 2-hole. You got to get Adley out of the 2-hole. This isn't working. We got to switch this up. Manzolino and them made it very clear if it's working, even if it's not working, hell, they're going to give you consistency. We talked about the 6 young guys yesterday. Adley, Gunnar, Jackson, Cowser, Mayo, Kerstead, all in the lineup for the first time together, combined for 10 for 25 as a 385 average with a walk, a double, and a homer. What did Manzolino do? He said, let's run that shit back. Young kids produce, let's run it back. How do they reward him? They don't give up, and they find a way to win. Every time Grim comments that, I feel compelled to do it. I'm not going to lie. This is there's something happening here. There's something happening here. And Will, appreciate you. Substack, like I said 2 weeks ago, getting the core guys back like Cowser, who's a heartbeat of the core guys, will get us back in this thing. Cowser's coming. Cowser's back. Westy is they're reviewing after he played tonight in Norfolk. They're going over to see what Westy is. His deal is. But you get Westy back. I assume they'd send Emmanuel Rivera down. Assuming we send Emmanuel Rivera down. Listen, and we want to talk about this before I get into the box score, just because now we're talking, Westberg, and maybe some people would be like, oh, send down Kobe Mayo. I wouldn't. I think Kobe Mayo's looking – I very much like what Kobe Mayo's showing in this stint to the majors. Tonight he got the walk. Didn't really fight for it. The guy walked him on 4 or 5 pitches. But there's a confidence. One, I'm just going to say it. In his first at bat, Kobe Mayo hit that foul ball. I stood up. I thought he hit it 500 feet into the stands. I fully stood up. I was like, holy shit, he's here. That was foul. But then the next ball, he hit to the warning track. So, couldn't agree more, Peter. Let the kid play. Let the kid play. Let the kid play. I wasn't the only one, AJ. I genuinely think bounced off the bat. Like, that was a rocket. Thought he got into one there. So, listen, I know people are skeptical of it. Keep playing. Hell, I would run this exact same lineup out there. And something we haven't even gotten into is you want to talk about we want to win this series. Brian Wu is on the mound tomorrow for the Seattle Mariners. If you don't know who Brian Wu is, young pitcher for the Mariners, you're going to find out tomorrow. Dude's a stud. You just got to call what it is. Kid is a stud. This was such a, if you wanted to give yourself a chance, you had to win this. What a freaking, what a game. And yeah, Wu is no joke. God, I would sell the farm for Wu. He was one of those guys over the off season that I was like, if they asked for Mountcastle Kerstead plus, I would do it for Wu. Honestly, I was Brian Wu is a damn good pitcher. So gonna be a good test for the guys tomorrow. But you know what I would do against a good electrifying pitcher? Run the same damn lineup out there. I assume Adley's going to have to DH. I'd assume they, guess day game after night game. I would, I'd run besides probably putting Adley at DH and maybe Maverick in. I'd run back the same guys. That says you got one, Adley's got DH because you got to keep his bat in. I guess I don't even want to take Carlson out because Carlson's been batting, I think it's like 340 his past like 10 games. Yeah, this is how I would do it. I would do it this way. Yeah, I like that. Because I want to keep Mayo in that lineup, continue to get him confidence because I think he looks a lot better. So enough of me just kind of ranting. Let's go into the box score. Let's talk about this a little bit. 12:48 a.m. here in Baltimore. Let's have some fun. Orioles have won 5 straight. Hit that like and subscribe. But yeah, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching this at 12:48 a.m. Eastern time, Orioles have won 5 straight. It's free. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. You know the drill. Appreciate everyone. Holiday gets a walk, 0 for 3 though. He had some. I wasn't too concerned about Holiday. I mean, obviously, anytime your leadoff hitter doesn't get a hit, it's not great. But I didn't feel like Holiday. He's been struggling recently. I think he's gotten 1 hit in his last 11, 12-ish. But I would still send him out there. He's having competitive at bats. Yeah, mini slump. He'll be back. Just continue to get guys going. Adley Rutschman, 1 for 4. Adley also probably could have had 3 hits tonight, just spraying the ball all over. His first at-bat of the or I guess second at-bat was 106 miles an hour off the bat, had a 650 or 680 expected average, and then Young at second. Just kid's a defensive stud. What a play there. Saved 2 runs. But Adley looks like Adley. He's playing with confidence. They took away the toe tap. Adley his swing honestly looks a million times better. He looks connected. He looks on time. And it feels like Adley Rutschman. Gunnar 0 for 4. He's kind of been hit or miss recently, but not concerned with Gunnar. Rhino Hearn's 19-game on-base streak ends. That's on me, guys. I'm going to be so real. I am ice cold on the Brian Ripken Show picks of the day. I thought it was Rhino Hearn was going to get us out of some. I destroyed that. I am so sorry to everyone. I would like to apologize to Rhino Hearn. I am so sorry. That's on me. Hand up. I'll take that. That's on me. That was hand up. That's, my bad. Yeah, guys. My B. That's on me. That one was on me. Yeah, that was. Yeah, no, we're done. We're done with the O's picks. That's on me. That's not happening again. Laura, it would at this point it would be good. You would make a lot more money if you faded every pick of mine over the last 2 weeks on the Ryan Ripken Show. You'd be making a lot of money right now. I'm just going to pick tomorrow whatever I don't think is going to hit. I'm just going to pick that. Moving on though, Ramon Arias. 2 walks, run 0 for 2 besides that. It's a good game, Ramon. I'm not, another good one. Ramon's just been solid. It feels like he's just finding ways to get on base. Obviously starts the rally to take the lead. Cowser gets that hit in the end. Colton Cowser's just been so great. His energy is infectious, and then obviously he's gotten 2 hits since being back, the home run and then the single there. Also got the walk. Kobe Mayo, like I said, he gets the offer, but, ends up getting the walk. Emmanuel Rivera came in as defensive replacement and goes 0 for 1 with the double play. That sucked. I'm not going to lie. When Emmanuel Rivera immediately grounded into the double play, I was sitting there and I was like, this is – please don't do this. I was like, that was just get a fly ball. Let's give ourselves some sort of insurance. Unable to do it. Heston Kjerstad, I don't know if he's necessarily the star of the game, but hell of a bounce back. Heston's staying hot. He's, I think, 3 for 6 in Seattle, 1 for 3, 2 RBI triple. Are you kidding me? Jordan Adams comes in for him as a defensive replacement. And then Dylan Carlson has Dylan Carlson, if this team was playing, obviously the 5-game win streak gave the last 10, but if this team was in the hunt, we'd be talking about how incredible of a pickup Carlson and Laureano have been. Excuse me. Carlson's on fire. That's why I'm like, you can't take him out of the lineup tomorrow. You just can't. I don't think you take him out. I got to keep putting this guy in the lineup. So offense not great. What was the final hit number? Yeah, 4. Only 4 hits, but hey, not bad. We've talked about before, it's about situations. It's about finding ways to, even if you don't have many situations. I mean, how many times have we sat here this year and we've said, oh God, Orioles lost 2-0, Orioles lost 2-1, where it was a situation exactly like this where the offense is not hitting well. They're not necessarily going out there and producing the way you would want them to. But right now, the difference is they found a way. We've seen this movie 100 times already this season. Pitching finally shows up, offense flails, and they lose the game. Offense found a way to do enough. Was it pretty? No. Was it this massive, oh my gosh, they came out of nowhere and went, no, but they had an opportunity to win, and they went out and capitalized. They got the win. Heston Kjerstad comes up. A guy who has been struggling recently besides yesterday, getting a little confidence back, goes out there, 2 RBI triple for the lead. Yeah. I mean, hey, 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position doesn't sound great. You're right. Only 2 hits with runners in scoring position. But I'll tell you what, we talk about what does sound pretty great is the 333, because I've seen us get 2 hits with runners in scoring position before, but it's 2 for 18. It's 2 for 13. So I will take, if you're only going to get 6 opportunities, we kept complaining that they had opportunity after opportunity and couldn't capitalize. They found a way. They did just enough offensively to win this game. Let's move on to the pitching because, come on. Cade Povich, Slim Katie. Cade Povich is one of those guys where as the confidence grows, he's got the stuff. Like Cade Povich can be that guy in a rotation. I'm not saying he'll be the number one. I'm not saying he's the Cy Young, but he is one of those dudes that will go out there and just deliver you a quality start. He will just go out and he is going to, once he figures out the walks, which tonight only walked one. 5 1/3, 2 earned runs, limit damage when needed. Cade Povich, he's putting together something. He is really starting to put it together. I think the Orioles are getting better at developing pitchers. I think Povich has talent. I really do. I think Cade Povich is a guy that every fifth day you're starting to feel confident with him on the mound. Yennier Cano, good God, man. Did he need that? Gets the ground ball immediately. That's a game-changing play. If they go up 3-1 there once again, the game's over. I just really don't think they did, at least not recently. Very underrated, incredible night for Cano, getting the ground out to then. When he was called safe at home, I was like, what are we doing here? Sir Anthony Dominguez, but Cano gets out of it. Sir Anthony Dominguez, nasty. Sir Anthony was on one tonight. Gregory Soto. It's not easy. It's never easy, but 3 strikeouts. 3 strikeouts for Gregory Soto. Gets it despite the 1 walk. And then you hand it to Felix Bautista. Back-to-back games again. It was not pretty. It was not easy. When Rowdy Tellez made contact with that baseball, my heart dropped. I couldn't believe it. That ball was hit, and my heart dropped. But they found a way. Felix Bautista closes it out. You know what? We haven't done this in a while. We haven't done this one in a while. Let's do a little group poll, group chat, group rating. 1 to 10. What is your confidence in the Baltimore Orioles to turn this thing around? And I'll just say this, and get back to 500 at some point this season. 10 being they're going to get back to 500 at some point. I'm not saying make the playoffs, but get back to 500 at some point this season. Saying a lot of 7s, 8s. See, the Australians are getting rowdy. I love it. See a lot of 7s, 8s. I'm going to put mine at a 7. You guys know I'm more optimistic. I'm going to put mine at a 7. I think this team is getting healthy and getting confident at the right time. Do I think they're going to go on a run and I'm like, oh, hey, they're going to the World Series. They're making the playoffs. No. I think there's a very good chance that they can find their way back to 500 at some point this year. Playoffs, we're talking something different. Yeah, playoffs is more of that like 3, 4. I still got. Let's work on getting to 500 before we're talking playoffs. Before we talk playoffs. But I'm glad we can all sit around at about it. It seems like the majority is in that 6 to 8 range. I'm going to sit at a 7. We can Kobe's starting to – I've liked what we've seen out of Kobe this call-up. I think he looks a million times more comfortable than he has. I think this is as – I'm not going to say as good as he could be playing because obviously he could be playing much better. But this is as good of a step as you could have hoped for from Kobe coming up kind of in a pinch because they weren't planning on it. and then Mountcastle gets hurt, you got to bring him up. And I think I think you like what you see so far. I think this is a very solid stretch that he's putting together, even if the numbers aren't going to jump off the book page to you, even if when you look at the stat sheet, it's not going to say like, oh, he's raking. He's making solid contact. I feel like a broken record saying this about all of our prospects, but it seems true for most of them. His knowledge of the strike zone is incredible. You can say he expands it when he's uncomfortable, but I think that's one of the biggest positives that I've seen from him is we are seeing less and less panic swings. Yeah, that foul ball. I thought that foul ball left the stadium. I was already standing up by the time they announced that was foul. I was so ready for my celebration. Tweets were about to be sent. It was. You know what, Walter? Appreciate you. Last time we faced the starters, electric as Woo was Hunter Green, who we lit up. Let's light Woo up too. I'm in. Walter, I'm in. I'm in. Let's do it. Little hydration break. While we're taking a hydration break, make sure if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Kevin and Zach react. My co-host Kevin Ostrecker will be joining me in a few minutes, and then we'll get into call-ins. But hey, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, go live after every single Orioles game, win or lose. Hey, lots more wins happening recently. Something special is happening in Baltimore. If you don't believe me, just watch. I think that this team, they're a young, fun team who is gaining confidence with every single I want to say at bat for some of these guys, but you do see every single game, it feels like as an organization they're getting better. Top to bottom. It feels like the coaching staff is getting better. Obviously, you can talk about Mabry coming in. Feels like the coaching staff is making the right calls. I've loved how they've handled the pitching staff over probably the last 10 games. I've loved how they haven't had too many pinch hit opportunities, I feel like, but I feel like they've made the right moves. Defensive replacements have all pretty much worked out. I like, obviously, getting Adams in there for Heston in the end. But I feel like coaching's been better. I feel like pitching has been incredible. Today was the off day for the offense. They didn't show up, but they found a way to win. And I think that's what's impressive is we've talked about multiple times this season how we have yet to really see, and I could say you still haven't for an expanded period of time. Few games here and there, but for the most part, we haven't seen this team put it all together. So I think that the important thing is they're not playing lights out. They're not going above and beyond. And they're still finding ways to win. Offense didn't show up, plain and simple. 4 hits. 4 hits, and they found a way to win. If you're only going to get 4 hits, you might as well make them count. Get 3 runs out of them. Heston Kjerstad coming up clutch. Everything about tonight pointed to the Orioles falling back into what they've done all season in losing these close games. Hell, I'll be honest. Soto was out there. Guy gets on. I was like, here we go. Cal Raleigh, put one in the seats. This is going to suck. Felix gets 2 guys on. I'm like, Jesus, here we go. Here we go. It just felt like this team was destined to fall back into what they've been doing for the past, I guess, the previous month and a half before the past 2 weeks. But they didn't. And that's why I think this game of all the games recently really has me feeling different about this team. This was a game that this team loses 10 times out of 10 earlier this year, not without a question. But they have fight again. They have this momentum. They have this energy every single game. Tonight was Heston Kjerstad. Every game after the game ends, they interview someone, and they talk about the energy in the clubhouse, how different it is. Something is happening. Something's happening. Also, I see. Shoot, I lost it. But talking about Manzolino, extending Manzolino. This is that's gonna be so interesting. If the Orioles go on a run, we talked about last night. I don't know how far you have to go in the playoffs for you to be like, screw it, Manzolino's the guy. The Manzolinos. Actually, Manzolino is officially 9-8 as a manager, winning record as a manager. Let's keep that going. Yeah, I agree. I give me Schumacher any day of the week. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. He's in Texas right now, and Bruce Bochy's on the last year of his contract. And with them underperforming, I would not be surprised if they did move on from him just to kind of get a younger guy in. So we'll see if Schumacher goes there, but I think he's definitely going to be a hot name out there. Obviously, the Ryan Flaherty's, the Joe Maddens. You can go on. It's going to be – I'm intrigued to see where they go. But, yeah, hit that like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Kevin and Zach React. Go live after every single Orioles game, win or lose. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you know someone who's an Orioles fan, they want a place to come chill after the game, come talk, send them our way. We have a fun tower here. And joining me is our co-host, Kevin Ostrecker. Kevin, something's happening in Baltimore.
Yeah. It's just a gutsy win. 5-0 feels good, but they got a lot more to go. So we'll see, man. We'll see what they do.
It's, I keep talking about, this is a game that earlier this year, this team wins 12 times out of 10 or loses 12 times out of 10. You have the big comeback, you tie it, you go 1-1, all of a sudden immediately you go down 2-1. They got a guy on third. Things are, going against you. I said earlier, I was like, this is a game 3 weeks ago they lose 5-1. I mean, you get 4 hits and they found a way to win. It was the pitching showed up. They made the right hits when they needed to, and they just found a way. And I think that's what's most impressive. And that's why I'm feeling different about this win than other wins, because it is that fact of this team found a way. Even when they weren't hitting well. The offense disappeared tonight. It was a classic Houdini act that we've seen from this offense throughout this season. But only 6 opportunities with runners in scoring position. You get 2 hits, get 333 average, and you make them count. If you're going to get them, make them count. So happy with how they were able to do that. And I think this team can get momentum. And saw Laura real fast talking about 170 of us. Yeah. So if you're up at 1:10 a.m. chilling here, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the like button at least. Try to help us. Help us out a little bit.
Yeah. Help us out. We love this community. The fact that we can get 170 plus at 1:10 in the morning is crazy, man. It's been a day for me. I really have not stopped working since I woke up, which admittedly was 1 p.m. But I still have been working for about 12 hours straight, and I still got a lot more to go. So it's just it's a continual grind. Zach, by the way, I have that exact shirt.
Yeah, it was a giveaway.
Yeah, but you didn't know that I was at the giveaway.
Kevin, we also got these prior.
Yeah, but you didn't know that I got one.
Yes, I did.
No. You're just I'm trying to gaslight me, man.
Unreal. Orioles win 5 straight, and Kevin's making it about his T-shirt. This is just.
It's your shirt. I'm just saying I have the same one.
Well,
Yeah,
obviously.
Well, I'm just saying.
Kevin, getting late. We'll end some call-ins.
Yeah, let's do some call-ins.
Yeah,
Shout out to Cade. Shout out to Felix. Shout out to Heston. Shout out to Adley. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to everybody. Honestly, shout out to Jordan Adams making that final catch.
Jordan Adams.
He's
telling you,
undefeated in the Jordan Adams era. I'm telling you,
Jordan Adams.
You cannot send him down. You cannot do it.
I mean, Jordan, is he the secret to the Orioles?
I'm telling you, he is the reason. He's the guy.
It does suck because there are some guys like Jordan Adams now, like where unfortunately, like Laureano coming up soon, like it's gonna be him, but the ride's gonna be incredible.
We'll have to say goodbye to good Orioles baseball when they send him down. I'm telling you, it's the reason.
You know what? So far, we can't say it's not. And Kevin, I was saying right before you got on, Manzolino officially winning record as a manager, 9-8.
Yeah, good for him. I'm still not on the Manzolino full-time train. It would have to take at least the ALCS for me to get on that train. But yeah, I mean, look, you have a real opportunity here, even if you do not win tomorrow, and I hope that they do, especially with Eflin on the mound. That A's team is awful. You have an opportunity to go on this 9-game winning streak and really make up some ground. And again, I think you said it perfectly, where these are the games you're supposed to win. And look, we know the Seattle offense is bad. Like, they are bad. But this is what your staff is supposed to do against a bad offense, right? You're supposed to shut them down. You're supposed to not let them stretch runs across the board here. And that's what the Orioles pitching staff has done. Now, again, I'd still like to see a little more from this offense, and you had kind of said that as well. But at least I think the approach is better, and that's what counts. Where if they can, be a little better here and there, and if the runs still aren't coming across, if you just take baby steps and you're able to win while taking those baby steps, then I think when you finally find something and you have backed that up with wins, it will just put you in a better spot.
Yeah, I think, and that's where we talk about, with the different feelings and kind of that momentum of it all, of stacking wins. And hey, it doesn't matter who it's against. Winning feels good. Winning, it doesn't matter that it's against the White Sox. It doesn't matter it's against the struggling. Winning feels good, and winning's contagious.
And
we talk about it all the time.
It doesn't matter who it's against. I mean, look, if you get momentum against bad teams, I don't care who it's against. Just get the momentum, and then you can carry that into better teams. Like, it sometimes is hard to, and again, we talk about how the Orioles have struggled to find and capture and continue momentum for the past year. But if they can take a hold of this, oh my God. Oh, it's the play that saved the game. It's the play that saved the game.
I think I might make this one. Kevin, anytime you just say some shit, I'm just going to.
You know what? I respect that. That is honestly probably the best comeback you can have.
Let's hop in to some call-ins. We got AJ behind the scenes. AJ.
What's going on, AJ?
My faith in Adley Rutschman has been rewarded.
It has.
Hey, you've been on that train. I did not forget.
And you deserve it. I had to take the L on the Heston hate today. There's a certain someone that's going to be clowning me later for it, I'm sure, which I deserve. He grounded into that double play, and I think I was ready to ship him off to like high A. And then after what I thought was going to be him breaking, I totally thought he just shattered his knee on that replay.
He got up.
I was like, oh, that's the season. I was like, that's it. And he legs out a triple. and Kobe Mayo can move. Like he's not home to first speed, but you get him going, and he's just a lot of person running down the
He
line.
does. He does. I don't know if he'll stop fast, but like you said, once he gets going, he's moving.
I mean, he clearly can seek out contact. You saw it in the White Sox game. So, do you want to be a catcher, game on the line, having to make the tag when Kobe Mayo's trucking down? But no, just great game. And look, I know we only got 4 hits today, but I will take 4 hits, 3 runs, 333 runners in scoring position, and a win over 14 hits, 1 run, 2 for 20 with runners in scoring position, and a loss every single day. We're an East Coast team that went to the hardest place to hit in the major leagues. And so far, our pitching has outdueled one of the better pitching staffs in the major leagues.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that. Marine Layer for MVP, though. That Rowdy Tellez shot.
Look good off the bat, I'll tell you what.
My heart sank.
The Mariners just flirted with breaking my heart too many times with the foul pole shots and the Rowdy Tellez shot. But last thing I'll say is with that Mayo foul ball. First of all, I was still at home. I'm at uni right now, so this is the closest you're going to get to AJ out in the streets of Australia.
Nice.
But
yeah, let's go.
He just smoked that foul ball. I shouted "get out" when it came off the bat. But what I'll say is that looked really good. Like if it had been a far foul ball to the push side, meaning he was late on it, I wouldn't think anything of it. But that means he was hunting a pitch. He got his pitch, and he's just a little early. He's taking the low and away sliders. He's swinging at the sliders in the zone. He actually doesn't have the full results yet, but he has a major league approach. And we're going to see the power pretty soon, and I'm very excited.
Very excited. I think he's looking better. Like you said, the confidence to just look for a pitch and jump on it. I think you're starting to see Kobe Mayo put it together. Maybe, like I said earlier, it's not going to jump off the page right now. But if you watch it bats, you see more confident. There's more confident takes. There's more confident swings. It feels like he's just more comfortable up there, and I think that is a massive step for the Orioles.
It's what's been so rough with Heston, where he gets beat with fastballs because he's scared to look for his pitch, and that's why it was so great to see him come up clutch today. Does anyone know the pitch he hit? I have no idea. But frankly, he hit it. That's all I care about. He hit the damn thing.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what it was. At least he hit it.
Pitching was great. Greg Soto, just 4 strikeouts in 1 inning is pretty impressive. But I'll get off for who I'm sure slowly behind me is the number 1 Heston fan. So great Orioles win. 5 in a row. Honestly, I want to take tomorrow, but we have to understand, we're not going to go on some 20-game win streak. As long as you have a competitive game tomorrow,
how would that
go into the A's with momentum. Could be some fun to watch. Actually, yeah, you know what? The Orioles vibes versus a top 10 pitcher. This is the kind of game where we just shell them for no reason.
I'd rather face Brian Wu than some rookie soft tossing lefty that has a 10 ERA.
Some 40-year-old who has been throwing meatballs all season just to go 6 perfect.
Exactly.
I'll never forget the nearly combined perfect game with the Tigers last year. Because I went into that game saying, "Oh, watch, the long man's going to go like a perfect 5," and he did. But anyways,
really tough. I remember the stress of that, where it was like, "Please don't do this."
And then Gunnar hit the triple, and then we lost. But
yeah, but it was moral. We were on to moral victories.
Moral victory, which is what we're doing now. But I don't care. Let's bring.
No, we're not. Long season. We're back in this AJ.
Long season, man. Let's go.
Let's go, AJ.
Appreciate you, AJ.
Awesome. We'll catch you next. Peace out. Next up, let's go to our man of the hour, Arkansas. We got Joe. Joe, how we feeling?
What's up, Joe? I know you're feeling good.
You know, there's a lot of hate going around.
Hey, you got it done.
There's a lot of hate. And the man to my right there is the Heston hater.
Oh,
according to
come
Zach
on now.
Bollinger.
Come on now.
So, I mean,
Hey,
No, not
look,
the player, just the person.
I'm the
Not the
reason
player,
he
just
was
the
able to do this tonight. I asked Heston about his approach, and look what he did tonight. Look at his approach. It was pretty good tonight on that triple.
that's 2 triples in 3 or 4 games.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
he
Crazy
learned
to
from the
think.
first one. He learned from the first one. Didn't
Yep.
get picked off.
Yep.
So,
You know?
and that 27.7 sprint speed, pigs can fly, baby. Pigs can fly.
Yeah, he was flying. Oh yeah.
That is for damn sure.
$100
Joe, I'm not
steak.
gonna lie to you. I
He had
didn't
that.
know he had it in him. I was sitting there and I was like, okay. I was screaming for Kobe. I was like, get home, Kobe, get home, Kobe. And I see Heston running to third, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, what is going on right now?
He's got that dog in him, man.
Got that
And
hog. in him.
as
True.
we'll let sleeping dogs lie. He already threw himself under the bus. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Hey, you know what?
You know,
At the end of the day, Heston did his thing.
we
I
got to
think-
do it.
Hey, if we're
gotta
going to get proved wrong, I'd rather get proved wrong. You know, I think AJ even would rather get proved wrong if it ends up being a win. You know?
Yep. We got to do it though, fellas.
You ready?
Woo!
Pig
Pig
suey.
suey.
Woo. Pig
Pig
suey.
Suey.
Woo.
Pig
Pig
suey.
Dewey.
Razorback.
Man, it's been a while since we did one of those.
Oh,
You're getting better in your
Pig
form,
sueys
fellas.
for
You're getting
3
better.
bags.
I know. We've been coached up by the best, so we better be getting better.
You know, let's hope on Monday we got a couple more of those in the bag.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope, man. Let's
it's
hope.
a
I'm
tough
hoping.
weekend coming, but I like orange, but I don't like Tennessee orange.
No.
So,
There's a difference. There is a
you know,
difference.
there's a big difference.
Big
And you know,
Joe, appreciate you calling in as always.
we like West Virginia, but we don't like the Mountaineers. We're going for Coastal this weekend. It's all about the Fun Belt, baby.
all about the Fun Belt. Hell yeah, baby. Fun
go.
Belt.
Oh,
Fun Belt, Joe. Appreciate you, my
Appreciate
friend.
you, man.
Let Coastal win, and let's find Jason a kidney so
Let's do it.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
he can celebrate with them.
I'm down.
Love it. Love it.
I'm in, Joe. Appreciate you as always.
Appreciate you, man.
Next time. Awesome. Gosh. I keep forgetting that this is my background.
Yeah. Honestly, you should just get off the screen and just talk.
Yeah, just
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Oh yes. Yeah, there we go.
this is how we're gonna be. Oh, I did not.
You can't, you gotta lead. Go. Keep leaning. Keep going.
Okay, I was not like originally I wasn't like you see like I was leaning out of the frame before, but then we went like watch if I go like this, like where I'm out of it, but now
Yeah. Oh, now you're okay.
you see like the difference.
That is nightmare fuel. That is.
Oh
yeah.
wait. This.
No, a little more. Oh shit, we have to get the foam finger out of the way though. Oh, that you can't take it down. You can't take it down.
Not right now. Hell no.
All right, try again. It's like you turn in the foam because I think it's registering that you're turning in the foam finger. A little bit, yeah, a little better.
So
Yeah, okay, all right, that's better. It's only a little tiny bit now. Okay, try turning it a little. No, other way. You were so close.
feels good.
Yep, yeah. Turn. All right, now turn. Keep go. Yep. Oh.
It's not working.
It was better. It was a little better.
This is what happens when we go live at 1:26 a.m.
Yeah, we're so far gone at this point. I'm delirious. I've nonstop work all day. Maybe I had like a 30-minute break.
I love this show. What are we doing right now? Let's move on to our next call. We got Sam behind the scenes. Sam, what's up?
Sam, what's going on, man?
Oh, that was something. Zach, Creamy Kev, how are you guys doing today?
God.
I'm
Dude,
I don't
was
know how I'm
wait-
doing now after you call me that.
Oh man, dude, I've been waiting since the show that y'all did today just to. Oh
I don't
my
even know where
gosh.
that. I don't
Now,
even know
dude,
where that
like,
came from. Like, I don't know why it was me who was the one.
What do you
Kevin,
mean?
if,
It's
if
always
if
you.
you were ever a SoundCloud rapper, that's got to be your name. Creamy with a K.
My DJ
Creamy
name
with
is
the-
DJ Knockout for KO. So if I'm ever
And
a
look-
if I'm ever a
And look,
SoundCloud
dude,
guy,
I mean,
maybe.
I got a similar story with mine. I mean, I got called Slippery Sam after one time because I dropped a perfectly like an absolute dime of a pass during a pickup football game about 2 years. It was like 2 years ago at our at our church.
Damn.
It was a youth game. I was playing with our students, and for about 2 years, they still call me that from time to time. Just call me Slippery Sam, and I'm like, okay,
Oh,
okay.
that
well,
is awesome.
you know,
I
that's
love
interesting.
That. Yeah, I
But
love that.
Damn. That's a
yeah,
tough
it's 12:30 a.m. here at least, and yeah, 5 in a row.
5 in a
looking
row.
Man,
You know, it's a start. I don't think it wasn't perfect, and I think that's what gives me almost a little bit more confidence. Is why I keep saying this is a game that this team would have lost a million times out of 10 earlier this year. You know,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no question about that. I think that, and you guys have been saying it. We've all been saying it in terms of, just the coaching change. At first, we didn't know if it was going to actually do anything. We thought, okay, well, he's just, Hyde's just the scapegoat for the lack of success, which, I mean, was pretty much true. I mean, that kind of was the reality of it. It was Mike Elias trying to escape the accountability. But, just looking at, again, the dugout, the look on their faces, they look happy. After that play at the plate, they're looking over at Mansolino, and the camera pins over to him, and he just has this look of like, oh man, are you kidding me, dude? How'd you miss that? But it's like, it's the look that he had. You look at Hyde, and it's just like someone, crapped in his cornflakes almost every single time that a camera's on him. He has that same look on his face of just
Every
like
single
pure
time.
confusion. Yeah. And Mansolino, it's like he's actually showing some emotion. So I mean, I like what he's doing. I like the vibes surrounding the team. They seem like they're alive, like they actually like being there. And that's just something that, regardless of the success and regardless of the record this year, they seem to be getting back to who we've enjoyed them to be.
Yeah. And I think it does start with just the energy. It feels like there is something, whether it starts with, new management, whether it is just the players simply playing loose and feeling like, some sort of spark, you can tell. And it started in Boston. It started, honestly, in that second loss where the guys, they were, Ramon's making plays, everyone's laughing, and you felt like suddenly this stress was gone from the team. And they were just, Kevin, you called the no expectation merchants, but it feels like once they were like, well, manager's gone, no one cares, they just went and they're playing ball now. And now we're here.
Yeah, it's true. And, I think the big thing also is the thing with Hyde is like one of the reasons for getting rid of him is like it couldn't be any worse than what it was. Like even if Mansolino didn't pan out whatsoever, and like the Orioles weren't on this 5-game winning streak, I mean, you had like nothing to lose in doing so.
Oh yeah,
where
for sure.
Anything was better than that. And even if it wasn't, at least they tried to make a change. You couldn't justify them just continuing to look as lifeless as they did and roll the same thing out game after game. And I mean, I'm saying they waited too late to do it, but it's, I guess, better than nothing. So
Yeah,
it just seems like philosophy shifts, and we have heard about that firsthand where, Mansolino going up to Jackson and saying, hey, you're going to play every day. And that's something that Hyde was still struggling with and something that he shouldn't have been, but he was. So the fact that we have seen that and they are on the streak right now, kind of like what Zach said, it's like they were just doing the same thing over and over and over again with Hyde. They clearly, I know the players can say that there wasn't any lost locker room. And look, I don't think the players hated Hyde, but clearly nothing was resonating anymore. It was stale. And the fact that they made the move, it was better than doing nothing. And I'm glad that they did, because now we can see that, okay, maybe there was a little more to this team than we thought.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's really it's just really cool seeing them, and I think if there's a good, there's a lot of good things to come from the season, but just, being, gosh, what were they, before the streak, I think it was what, 16 under 500 or
Yeah.
19 or gosh, I
16 or
can't even do it. It's too
17 or
late to do math.
something. Yeah.
My goodness. But no, yeah, it's like, I
Right?
kind of yeah, I kind of went into every game expecting, just I didn't really expect to win, but I mean, for me that kind of changed the whole expectation so I could actually watch the game and essentially just like, okay, let's see how, in this case, Kobe Mayo. I was actually not for Mounty's sake, but I was actually hoping Mounty was going to hit the IL solely because I wanted to see Mayo get some more reps. And that's part. And look, I don't know if Arkansas Joe here is still listening. I know the dude, Zach. I swear, Joe and I are kind of like you and I about a year ago. You couldn't stand.
I
you
remember
couldn't
those
stand-
days.
You couldn't stand my takes. You thought. I mean, look.
What a
I'll be
story.
honest. I'll be totally honest. I'm like the Apostle Peter sometimes. I literally say the stupidest crap. I get it. Those things happen. But honestly, thinking that if this team doesn't contend this year, and they end up, not making the postseason by, I don't know, 20, 30 games, I think honestly that could be the best thing that could happen for this team long term. Because what that could do is, like, I want to see Mayo and Basayo playing every day. And I think Rip even said it earlier. He said if you call up Basayo, it's got to be an everyday gig. It can't just be this split. And with Mansolino, I don't think he's playing that game. And we're seeing it with Mayo. He's been in the lineup every single day since he got called up. It's only 5 games, but he's in the lineup every day. With Basayo, a lot of changes would have to happen. You would definitely have to move. O'Hearn would probably be the likely guy to leave just because he's on a contract year. He's the guy you can get the most for. You might move Mounty. I don't know. He's got some value because he can hit. He just needs to be fixed a little bit, tweak some of his swing.
Yeah.
And that opens up a place for Basayo. Put him at first and then alternate him behind the dish, maybe DH Adley and play Basayo behind the plate. But if anything, the way that they're trending right now, if let's just say they're around 500 at the deadline, I think the best thing for Elias to do, and again, this is probably not a popular take, I think the best thing for him to do is essentially nothing. Don't sell, but also don't buy. Because you don't want to go all in for something that you may not even be able to make. But yet, you also don't want to sell if there's a shot. It's that awkward place to where I'm actually glad I'm not a GM because I'm not making those decisions. But it's one of those things where it's like, do you really sell pieces of your team that you can re-sign? I think you can re-sign Eflin for a pretty cheap deal. I think O'Hearn can probably, because he's older, you can probably get him for, I don't know, 2-3 years, what, 30, 40 million?
Yeah, I would think 3 years, close to 45 million could get O'Hearn. And I think if they are within 500, I think we could see, I don't know if staying pat, but I think maybe a situation where they do some buying and selling. So maybe they sell a few of the expiring contracts while trying to, maybe they send a few prospects for some guys with some control. So I could see that. I don't think they get, no matter what, I don't think they go after really any rentals that are big deals. Maybe they send a low-level prospect for a rental who's going to be, a random bullpen guy. Maybe that. But, yeah, I think if they're around 500, I think it's going to be an interesting trade deadline where I think they're going to do a little bit of both. I don't know if they're necessarily going to commit to one or the other of selling or buying. I think that they're going to see what deals come to them. And if they have an opportunity to get a guy with control, I think they'll be open to it. But if they get a good offer for people that aren't expiring deals, I think they also are okay with looking at that.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's also this, other aspect of it to where if you trade a guy who's on a contract year, you can always get him back. It happened with Jack Flaherty. Tigers traded him to LA and they got him back for 3 years. So it's always possible. So, I mean, we'll see. I think O'Hearn, I can't imagine he'd want to go anywhere else because his career was dead in the water and he came to Baltimore and he's totally turned his whole career around. And so I want that man to be an Oriole for life. I mean, he is the life of this team. He is, I think he should be the captain the captain of the team.
Yeah,
He's got the most experience. He's got grit. He's got heart. And yeah, currently he's the best player on the team. I think he should be the guy.
I agree. I think he really has just been kind of that leader, and he's taken it over completely. I couldn't agree more. I think O'Hearn become the leader on and off the field, and I don't think that's someone that you can just move on from and think that, younger guys are going to just take over and, maybe they produce something, along his stat line career-wise, but the leadership is something that you can't replicate. So, Sam, appreciate you calling in, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate you, Sam.
Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good night.
Awesome, Sam.
Yeah,
appreciate
you, man. And
let's keep it rolling. We got Laura up next. Laura.
What's up, Laura? How you doing?
Back-ish. I mean, come on, Kevin, get a little pep in this step.
Man, I'm telling you, I've been working. Yeah, and Peyton's asking why I'm sad. I'm not sad, Peyton. I've been working I've been working since I woke up. So I'm just. I'm not sad. I'm ecstatic. The Orioles are
rising grind.
No.
I'm just tired. That's it.
I was literally the show had started. I had turned off the light. I was in bed because I had a long day, Kevin.
Yeah.
I had clinicals all day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to spend all day today working on a presentation that I have to give in a couple of days for my technology class, nursing technology. So I'm exhausted, okay? Because that's all I've been doing all day long. PowerPoints. Anyway, come on, Kevin. 5-game win streak.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm excited about it. I truly
No, you're
am.
not excited about it.
Am.
You were
Yes,
not
I am.
excited
Yes,
about it.
I am. Just because I might be tired does not mean I'm not excited about
Okay, so is that what it is? It's just that you're tired?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's really,
okay.
It truly is.
Because really, you came in here all I
just finished. I texted Zach and said I'll be there soon. I'm just finishing up some work, and
But you're
get,
like
that work fog, and so that was me directly after. That was the peak work fog.
you weren't impressed. It seemed that they had won 5 games
with how bad they started the year. I was impressed with 3 wins. So
okay. So I'm just making sure. Because again, we're at 5. We're at 5. I mean, and that's 2 series wins.
Yeah, and I know that we revised the food. So if the Orioles win tomorrow and sweep, I'll do double the ramen for 2 sweeps. I know that's what we revised it to. So
looking forward to that.
I know. Look, we needed to try to get some magic back here, and so I think officially letting the sweep thing die and just be okay, because I know Gordon said 10 games,
Right.
Then it was 6 games, and then an even bigger challenge at 10 games. So if we get to 6, I'm gonna do the double ramen, and then at 10, I might be my last appearance ever on the show with how big the food challenge is. Might be.
So let me ask you this. If they win tomorrow, do I get to take the shirt back out the drawer?
I think
you have to.
Okay. I'm just making sure because it's in the drawer. I don't want to jinx the team. That's why I'm not taking it out the drawer.
Yep.
But if they win tomorrow,
I think you're safe from a jinx against the A's. I can
say the F word. I can say that the O's are okay. Yeah, I think that's really all I had. Just work up, Kevin. You got to be perky for my. I wake up to you every morning.
Even I sometimes.
You got to have that perkiness that you have every morning for me because it gets me going.
Even I sometimes get tired. I wish I was a robot, but
it's all his mountain.
And honestly, what I'm doing is what I actually do during the day is I save a lot of my energy to be that energetic for Locked On Ravens.
Okay,
so
good.
I'm channeling it down right now. But if I had to say welcome on into Locked On Ravens, I can just turn that switch like that.
Okay, you can turn it on. Okay, good.
But the reason I can do it is because I'm
all you might need to
keep it simmered down. I got to keep it
brew a pot of coffee or something. I mean, look at Zach. Look at Zach. Zach is
I'm having the time of my life, Kevin. O's are back.
Right, so Creamy Kevin.
Creamy Kev.
We're leaving that. We're leaving that on Wednesday, June 4th, and we're never talking about it again.
Have a good evening, guys. I'm going back to bed. Me and the puppy are going back to bed.
Awesome, Laura. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
have a good night, Laura.
All
right.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm not. Where else am I supposed to look? You're the only one on the screen with me. Okay, see, now I'm looking at Adley, and Adley's looking at me. And Adley's not happy with me. So
When someone doesn't know who Creamy Kev is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That was good. That was good. Yeah.
Oh, let's head into our last caller of the night. We got Gordon behind the scenes. Gordon, what's up?
Gordon, what's good, man?
Your Baltimore Orioles. Creamy Kevin.
Man.
Hey, look, I'll make that Baltimore Orioles magic into Creamy Kevin. Look, that's the new saying from now on. Every time the Orioles win, Creamy Kevs. Let's go. Creamy Kevin.
The scary part of this for me is I think that like half the people or even more in this chat did not watch the show today, which gives them absolutely no idea why just the word creamy is being thrown around like this. Like, so to add the context, we cooked with Kyle on the Iron Rooster. Ryan was adding cream. I don't even know what it was into the sandwich, wasn't it? And no, it was the grits. It was into the grits because it made shrimp and grits. And Ryan just goes, "Oh yeah, like Kevin loves cream." For no, like I didn't say anything. He just like decided it was gonna pick on me. And then Zach and Ryan had their field day, nicknamed me Creamy Kev. I don't even like sour cream or any of that. Like somehow I'm stuck with the nickname. So
yes, look, it fits perfectly. It fits perfectly, you know.
It's because of the alliteration, even though it's a C and a K. But
yes. Or we could change here's the difference. Cream is when you're just normally eating just regular but like the Creamy Kev is the KK Creamy Kev. We're gonna switch it so that you know the difference between the regular cream and the Creamy Kev. So.
Yeah, this is peak 1:45 a.m. conversation right now.
Literally 3 brain cells working at its finest right now.
Yeah, man, that is exactly what's going on here.
Oh my gosh, I'm just so ecstatic, man. Just these Orioles got me feeling like how I used to feel about them. Like I noticed a lot of difference in this team to where it's like we're not going up there every at bat when we have somebody on like in scoring position and we're pressing. It doesn't feel like we're pressing. It feels like we're having our job and actually trusting the people behind us to know that they'll get their job done. They'll take the extra pitch instead of trying to put a ball in play. They'll get a walk. Like I've seen who got a walk today. Like I mean, well, Colton Cowser hasn't been there, but like we're actually playing these games like how we used to play, and it's so like fun and energetic and just like it's just amazing, especially how knowing how the season went on so far. It's just like, man, this is amazing. Like I know we scored, but what were we with runners in scoring position today? Like it was
2%,
numbers, right?
So,
right,
yeah,
that's not 2 for 6, and it was a 3-2 scoring game. Like that's not. Yeah. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That means somebody got a hit when they needed it. You know, we were down and that was huge, and we just haven't had that. We've not either had games where it's like we got the guys in scoring position, we got 2 on, we just need that hit, and it would just be a non-competitive at bat, 3 strikes, and it's just like, what are we doing up there? Like Adley, his first at bat, even though I think it was like a line out or a ground out, he was fighting today. Like he was literally fighting every at bat. He looks comfortable. He looks like how he used to look, this is just so fun. Like coming in here, having these conversations instead of being like, well, the Orioles are, 15 games back, and we're having these same conversations. Like I'm glad we're not having those. I'm glad that we can actually have some light and have some fun and talk about this team in light. Like, man, like, and then what about what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. Povich. Yeah. He's been locking down lately. Like, oh my gosh. Like I was just looking at him, and I was like on the TV. I was just like, oh my goodness. Like he is starting to figure it out. You know, like he's starting to get it. Like just from his first couple starts, like with the pitch selection, with like the control, just like the walks he used to have, like and he would go 0-2, maybe get somebody 3-2, but he struck him out with a fastball. Regardless if it's 93, struck him out. Maybe a few years, like last year or a couple games earlier in the season, it'd be a walk, and then it would unravel. How huge was that? That we had, what was it? It was second and third with one out or no outs, and he only gave away one run.
Yeah.
Like that would be innings before in the last year, even early in the beginning of the season, where it's just like, man, no outs, it's a runner on second and third, and then they get a run, and then it's just like, okay, here's this big inning. We, instead of giving up one run, we gave up 4 runs. Like the fact that we locked them down, like this team is literally showing, like rolling a new leaf, and it's just, it's so fun and amazing to say. Like the vibes are up, and you can see it all around.
You can. It's what I was saying earlier. I genuinely believe, like you just said, Gord, 3 weeks ago, this team loses this game like 5-1, 6-1. That inning would have spiraled after Cal Raleigh got the go-ahead double, and then they had guys on second or a guy on third, one out. That guy would have come in, and you just felt like it was going to unravel. Hell, when Soto walked a guy, and suddenly you were sitting there, and you're like, oh, here comes Cal Raleigh. Like, let's not do this again. It got dicey there. Felix, tying run on second.
Oh my goodness.
There were so many opportunities where earlier this year it felt like this team was just
would roll over, just would give up.
But they're not right now. They're fighting. They're finding ways. This was a comeback victory. I mean, this was a game that they had to fight and claw for. This is probably, I have no stat to prove this. This has got to be the first game I think that they've won where they've been trailing after going into the
seventh inning. Yeah.
Like I don't think they've won one yet. I'm pretty sure they were like 0 for like 30 or something going into a few games ago. So it's gotta. But yeah, there's something different about this ball club right now. There's a different energy. There's a different confidence, and it all starts with. I'll say it all starts with Manzolino. I think he is. We all made fun of him for he just wants everyone to be loved. He just wants everyone to be loved. But you know what? Everyone is loved right now. I think everyone's feeling the love. That whatever love they are doing, it's winning. It's winning.
I want to get it known that I know I wasn't the best on Kerstead, but I hope he's starting to prove me wrong, and I hope this is a stretch to where he starts to figure it out. It's good that these last 2 games have been trending up in the right direction, and if he continues that, I love Heston Kerstead, and even if he doesn't, I still love him. But I just want to put that out there. But it's just like, man, this team is just what we're doing. We're doing the little things. We're doing the things that are, like with that play where Gunner. Oh my goodness, so late. I can barely even speak right now. Like where Gunner threw it to Adley, and they called him safe, but it was actually out. Like even before, like the confidence to know that you're going to make that play and have it right there to get that out. It probably would have been earlier in the year. It would have probably been a throw, maybe even 2 weeks ago. It would have been a throw too far out. Alley goes, and then it's a score, and then we're just looking at everybody with their hands on their hips, like, But it's like we're finally doing the things that we're supposed to do, And this is just. I love it. 5 wins. Could you have expected, Zach? Did you expect it, Kevin?
3 weeks ago, no.
Oh
but
my gosh.
Hell, we were begging for 3 straight. We were pleading with them to find 3 straight wins.
I wanted to win a series.
Yeah,
literally. And we had 2 streaks of 6 game losing streaks, right? Like 2 of them.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
and
at least 1 of 7. I mean, it was. Unfortunately, you look back at those and you're like, damn, if we could have just won 2 or 3 of those, we'd be in a better position.
Imagine if we won at least one of those 2 games against the Cardinals. Like, that would have been – but, I mean, hey, those games were important because it showed fight, and that's important. And even though I kind of wanted Heston to go down when Krauser came up, like, the fact that he's still in there every day and, like you said, people are playing their roles every day, and that gives guys confidence to know that, hey,
Yep.
I got your back, and we're gonna rock with you. You know, we expect you. You know the situation that we're in. You know where we are and where we want to be, and we know that you're struggling. We trust you to get out of this, and we trust that you're gonna have the upside. You know, and we're gonna have your back. The upside of your talent is still there, and it's gonna happen, and that will give somebody a lot of confidence, like mentally, to know that, hey, I'm struggling, but you know, my manager has my back. This organization has my back. My teammates have my back. And the fact that they have your back emotionally and physically, mentally, but out there on the field, you know, getting out there and then like that, it's just like, man, that I feel like that was a good move to make, even though at the time I felt like it wasn't, but it's, you know, but
I think one of the most important changes that has happened is the everyday guys know their roles. And, you know, if you watch Mark DeRosa talk about it and how, you know, guys, there are routines. Routines are very important in sports. And when you don't know what you're doing, and even, you know, I remember talking about it last year when Felix wasn't in the bullpen, where it's like after Kimbrel imploded, it was like, who does what in that bullpen? Like, we don't know who does what. Like, it could be 5 different people coming in first for the starter. It could be 5 different people closing. And while people have certain skill sets you can use all over the place, routines are really important. And so the fact that, again, Tony went to Jackson and said, hey, you're going to play every day, and he's keeping relatively the same lineup. Like, it might not seem like the biggest deal in the world. I thought it was more of a bigger deal, but still, like, once you start actually playing guys consistently, and again, like, you can even talk about this with guys like Kobe and Heston too, where it just feels like confidence is such a fragile thing for like everybody, but in sports, and when you need a routine, like, if you like, let's say, you know, I go out there and I start the first 2 games of a series and I go 4 for 6 with 3 RBIs, and I'm thinking, hey, I'm doing pretty well here. Like, I'm finding my footing. And then you get benched for the 3rd game of that series. And you kind of think to yourself, like, what more do I need to do? Like, why did I deserve to get benched? And it felt like just there was a lot of that, where guys wouldn't be using the bullpen for multiple days when they were available. And like, it messes with everything. So I'm glad that Tony has taken that approach. I don't think it should have been as hard as it was to get to this point, but you know what? At least I'm glad it happened now.
That shows that was not just like a organizational thing, but like truly a Brandon Hyde thing, right? Because, like, I mean, obviously Mancelino's the manager now, and he has, like, hopefully he should have full reins of this, even though he's the interim manager. But like, I always wondered, was that like a Brandon Hyde thing to where it's like we would just flip flop these lineups up and down, or was it like a organizational thing to where it's just like we had other people coming together and say, hey, this was the right thing? And now that he's not here, and it's like we're playing every day, that kind of just like answers the question right there. But it's like,
I would probably say both. I would probably say it was both, where I don't know if it was just an organizational shift in philosophy that they did it, but I don't think that it was, you know, like, Hyde, I think, had the majority of the decision making there, but I think that, you know, it was probably he consulted with Elias and others about, hey, you know, how are you guys feeling about XYZ? You know, what do you think about this? And, you know, I think it's a group collaborative effort, as every organization should be. So, you know, Hyde is the one that's submitting those lineup cards, but I think that it was probably a significant, like, collaborative thing. So, you know, I think that now that Hyde is gone, you can tell that, you know, Hyde had certain philosophies that clearly weren't working. Tony's come in and kind of shifted away from those, which has helped. But again, I don't think the players hated Brandon Hyde. I don't think that they wanted him to get fired. But
I just feel like it was stale.
Yeah,
like his message was stale.
Exactly.
And not even stale. Like, these guys are big league, major league, major leaguers.
It's 2:00, man. Cut yourself some slack.
Look, these guys are major leaguers, and young major leaguers that are trying to make a name for themselves, and guys that have already had a name for themselves. Like, even though they might like somebody, you know, guys want to play every day. You don't train as hard as you do to, you know, play 3 days out the week, sit on the bench 4. Maybe you don't know if you're going to play 2 games out the week, or maybe you might play 5, depending on who we're facing up against. like guys don't want to do that. You know, guys want to get in that groove and play every day and know what it is that they do. Hey, it's 7 o'clock. I do this or I do that. I before my games I do. You know, just being like, hey, we depending on who we're playing or before the score sheet comes out or card sheet comes out. Hey, we're playing a lefty. You're not playing. That can mess people's routines up and everything up. And it's just like seeing the consistency in this lineup is huge because obviously it's working and it gives guys consistency, and that's really the most thing. But last thing before I go, when Westberg comes and Cedric comes back, what do you think is going to happen with this lineup?
I think Rivera goes down for Westy, and I think Adams goes down for Mullet.
Don't you put that evil on me?
I don't think
that evil on me.
I don't think Adams goes down because we have Jorge Mateo because he's a right-handed batter, and Cedric we need those right-handed guys to offset. But but I was wondering who we would send down and if this lineup would look completely different because Westy has to play.
Yeah, I think Arias goes back to being a bench guy, obviously, and then because then Laureano will also come back, and so
I mean, hey, these are good problems to have at this point.
Yeah, it is. But
I'd rather be having this than what we were having.
And then obviously, I think what you do is Mayo probably won't play. He'll probably get sent back down, if being honest.
Yeah.
But, it opens up your DH spot, which I think you can use Arias in there. You can use a couple other guys in that spot, too. I think that the one spot that there is that flexibility is at DH. And like what we saw today, where Mayo and O'Hearn flip, like you can do that, still have guys get that consistency, but you can switch it up a little bit and get a guy rest from the field or get a guy in the field a little more to just get the reps in. Like that's something you can do as well. So there are ways to switch things up without just gutting it every single day and starting from scratch.
Yeah. But hey, look, it's been fun. This 5-game win streak has been fun. The Orioles are trending up at the right time. We're gaining confidence and, we're getting guys healthy, and that's always a good thing instead of, we're getting guys back and that's always a good problem to have. And, was it Sam that was before Laura? Sam?
Yeah.
I remember, he said he's glad that he's not in control of this because, like being a manager because the decisions that we have right now are so tough. And I remember I said the same thing. Like the decisions that we have to make as an organization coming up with trade deadlines or just everything in a whole. The way the Orioles are is such a hard job, and I'm glad I'm not making those decisions, and I'm glad I can just pick your guys' brains and just have this talk and not have it affect anybody's lives because what I say don't affect anybody's life other than my life, and hopefully I don't say anything that affects your lives, but I'm glad that I don't make decisions that do that.
Yeah.
That is OD hard, but but Kevin, Zach, it was good talking to you guys, and
it was, and
Kevin,
we will do the double ramen if they sweep tomorrow. And that was your thing. I'll give you credit for that. We kind of said, all right, the sweep thing is dead. Let's raise the stakes. Like you said, 10 straight and then 6 straight. I like that. Where we put the expectations on them. We said we're not going small, we're going big, and look what's going on, man. So
I know. Hey, look, Kevin, you gotta get on these guys. Get on Zach. Get on Ryan. Look, you can't let them call you Creamy Kevin and not have a comeback. You have to start having these comebacks, my man. Look. I don't know. I don't care what you had to say. You gotta have these.
That's what I'm saying. He just let it happen.
One of the things that I did when I came on to the team was I took the punching bag role away from Rocco, and he has been
Rocco left.
Oh my goodness, I miss Rocco.
He is someone that he was getting a little too beat up on there. So I said, you know what, Rocco, I'm gonna take this from you. I'm gonna let you heal up So it's a part of the job description, man.
I know you got some in there, Kevin. Trust me, I know you got some in there.
I don't want to make anybody cry, man. That's what I'm not trying to do. I have to let them have their fun, but know on the inside that if we truly went at it, I would win. So.
Okay. look, the small moral victories always feel better, you know. So exactly. That's always the best.
Exactly.
And look, we got to get these names going on, you know, like I don't know how you're drawing all these blanks with all these great players that we've had on this team. I'll give one. Man, I'm drawing a blank. I will instead of he was yeah, this is terrible. How can I say that and drawing it's the person that I'm thinking of. He was a left-handed pitcher. He was I think 2011. He was skinny. He came from the Indians. The
TJ McFarland.
He was like a closer.
Andrew Miller.
Yeah, Andrew Miller. Yeah, it's 2:00. Okay, I said it before.
How do you draw a blank?
I know. How do I draw a blank?
One of my favorite moments on this show. Kevin, how do you draw a blank on these guys? Oh wait, who's that? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Like 2 seconds later.
Look, it's 2:00. It's 2 a.m. Okay. Look, okay, it's 2 a.m. That's my 2 a.m. brain. I've been doing this all day, you know. So
man,
just like
that's got a lot. That's been a lot of progress since we last spoke, man. Look at that.
Yes, look, I've been staying up all night. All night last night, just getting a lot of this in. I know it seems a little bare right now, like on the outside, but once I put
is he just doing grass, like green, or is it gonna be like Commander's colors?
Yeah. So here, let me try to flip this. Okay. So I have like the field down here, and it's like a little part from like the stadium or like that's like the beginning part of the stadium, and then like right here it says Commanders, but like ER, and then like the F, and then like it's like the stadium part up there. So and like with cameras flashing and stuff. So yeah,
I'm excited to see it when it's done.
Thank you. But
that's gonna look so sick.
Appreciate it as always.
Yes, we appreciate you, man.
Subscribe, enjoy. These guys are awesome, and don't do what I did. Don't come for somebody and then do the complete thing that you came for them on. Okay?
That was so funny. That was the best moment of the show.
That was incredible.
But you guys be safe. Have a good night's sleep, and Kevin, get some sleep, please.
I'm gonna try, which means I'll go to bed at 6 a.m. So Gordon, appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Have a good one. That was incredible.
Man, that was so awesome.
2 a.m. call-ins. What are we?
I know we're gonna be going even later when they go play the A's at 10:05 start times. Like,
yeah. Gosh, what the Sacramento? We're in the sack.
Sorry.
The sack.
Yeah.
Kevin, anything else?
No. 5 in a row, man. What a difference 2 weeks can make. Yeah, that says it all right there.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah,
107 people watching.
Screaming from the rooftops. This community is unbelievable.
2:04 a.m. 107 people on YouTube. Got people watching on Twitter as well. Appreciate genuinely from the bottom of our hearts all the love and support you guys give us. So if you're in the channel, hit that like and subscribe button as we wrap up this episode of Kevin and Zach React. Orioles are winners of 5 straight, 3-2 win, comeback victory. Slim Katie, Adley Rutschman's back. A little Kerstead action as well. We'll be back at it tomorrow, a little bit of a more normal time as we Orioles play at 3:40 tomorrow. Day game, getaway game for Seattle before they head to the sack to take on the Athletics. Looking for a sweep tomorrow. Maybe it's BYOB, bring your own broom to tomorrow's Kevin and Zach React, but we will see you then as the Orioles take on the Seattle Mariners tomorrow. We'll be back at it after Miguel Gonzalez.
Jordan Adams.
Just